Fellow Kenyans, I am pleased today to lead the celebration of the 8th Mashujaa Day, a day that we have set aside to remember our heroes of the past. These are men and women of courage and patriotism who chose service over self. Men and women who have sacrificed themselves in one way or another for the sake of freedom, peace, and stability of this great nation. As their sons and daughters, we have a duty to remember them honorably. That, ladies and gentlemen, is what we gather to do today, for this day belongs to our heroes. We also gather to give thanks for the progress we have made on both the political and economic front. We are free to express our opinions without fear of retribution. We can move freely, live and work anywhere in our country without requiring a pass. And we too can vote to elect leaders of our choice. I wish to remind you that not so long ago, Kenyans of African origin could not vote until 1957. And even then, it was for only 8 seats in the legislature. Fellow Kenyans, these are precious rights. We enjoy them today because those who came before us chose to sacrifice even their own lives so that we can be a free people. Mashujaa Day is an opportunity to reflect on the meaning of true heroism and how each one of us can contribute to the prosperity and inclusivity of this country of ours. We can draw lessons from the men and women who won our freedom, not because they had superior weapons, but because they seized a common destiny. They understood their common enemy. They believed in one another. They shunned differences of tribe and tongue. And in the end, they won. These men and women endured great pain and suffering, and many paid the ultimate price. No words can express our gratitude to this generation. We can only honor them by defending the values and the cause for which they stood. We today remember and celebrate our freedom fighters and all those who supported the freedom struggle. Their bold resistance, rallying Kenyans against the colonialists, is a permanent reminder that injustice, however powerful it seems, will fail. We remember today's heroes also, who have made enormous contributions to enlarge the democratic space in Kenya. Their sacrifice for multi-party politics laid the foundation upon which we have developed our democracy. It now behoves us to zealously guard the democracy that we have inherited from these heroes. On other fronts, the late Professor Wangari Maathai, the late Professor Ali Mazrui, and other notable scholars and researchers have brought honor to our motherland. We also celebrate our sportsmen and women who continue to bring glory to our motherland in different championships across the world. Also, dear Kenyans, daily we also see acts of heroism, and we also need to celebrate them. We remember Mary Mukaya, who saved fellow students from the Moi Girls fire at the cost of her own life. May God rest her soul and that of her colleagues in peace. And may her name and her example of selflessness be a shining example to us all. Mary's actions during that tragedy provide poignant lessons for us to reflect upon at this moment in our nation's history. At the tender age of 14, she sacrificed for the sake of others. Mary's great acts and courage will forever be engraved in our hearts. And all of us should emulate her good example of thinking of others first before self. Let me also today recognize Mr. Joseph Charo Karisa of Rabai Sub-County, who is another great Kenyan. He donated his 2 acres of family land for the construction of Jimba Water Pan. For his good gesture, today 5,000 people and over 40,000 livestock will now realize a long-held dream of receiving a reliable water supply. Mr. Charo is a hero and a role model in his own community and indeed in the entire country. He offered what he could afford to end perennial water and food problems in his community. His deed was not driven by a need for fame, recognition, or gain, but rather the desire to serve his community by providing land for a water pan to solve their daily problems. Fellow Kenyans, there are numerous cases of Kenyans who have gone out of their way to create impact in the lives of their fellow Kenyans. And their acts have touched the hearts of other Kenyans. My challenge to the rest of us is to endeavor to touch at least the heart of another Kenyan before 2017 ends. That is what true brotherhood means. As the Swahili adage reminds us, undugu ni kufana, sio kufanana.